Okay, hopefully you guys can hear me. Give me a 5 by 5 or 10 by 10, whatever. I'm glad that somebody knows who the Blood Brothers is. So, for anybody that's wondering, because people have asked me numerous times, that is the song that the channel is named after. It was me and my deceased best friend's favorite band. So, now you know. That's literally what the inspiration for the name of my channel is. It's not anything satanic or anything fucking weird. But as long as I sound okay, Gucci, okay, cool. All right, so I usually do not show my face, with the exception occasionally of Patreon, just because the streaming over there is kind of fucky. However, I'm not going to give anybody the satisfaction of seeing me upset, should that occur. But I've got to correct some information today. And after this, I'm going to be done with it. I thought that I was pretty clear the last time, and I've been as respectful as possible as I can be. Um, However, the McClarys will not leave me alone, and I'm tired of it. I don't want anything to do with the ex Scientology community, the protester community. I don't want anything to do with any of these people. And again, I've tried to be very clear. It has been incessant. I said that I was archiving everything, and I am. I'm not going to share that archive though, because that would. I'm not trying to brigade anybody, okay? I'm not trying to bully anybody, not anything of the sort. I'm documenting these things because it's necessary at this point. And I really haven't wanted to do this. And I'm sorry that I'm going to get upset. But I know that no matter what I say, no matter what I do at this point, it's always going to be an ad hominem argument or whataboutism or Scientology word games. And I'm allowed to express my experience with these people. I'm allowed to share my opinions. The reality is that up to this point, as of today, the McClarys have accused me of actual crimes, like legal crimes. They have also defamed me and they have slandered me in the legal definition. Does that mean that I'm going to do anything about it? No, I'm not. I've just asked to be left the fuck alone, and they won't stop. And they just keep going and keep going and keep going. And their friend, Lauren Smith-Leven, as well. I'm not going to sit here and give a play by play of the entire history of everything. However, one of their recent posts was really grossly deceptive. And this was the trigger for me to address this situation, because the way that they, you know, cropped this text message conversation, it makes me look like I'm some sort of fucking monster. And uh, Virginia, I just want you to know that I fucking hate that you've put me into this position, because I never wanted to do this, ever. And nobody's telling me what to do. I don't have handlers. Nobody's whispering in my ear. I'm sorry that, Scientology, you think you're smarter than everybody in the room, but you're so fucking paranoid. However, we are going to go ahead and look at this post. I believe, I'm trying to think of when this is from. I hate when I upload this stuff to Google Drive because it changes the core data on my phone from when I actually took the screenshot. But we're going to go ahead and start with the first part, because, again, it's, you've accused me of crimes. You've accused me of committing fucking crimes. You've accused me of being a processian, a Satanist, a fucking Scientologist. You've said things that are harmful. okay? And I'm sorry that you want to sit there and fucking play Scientologies with every single post and stalk all of my social media and read into things. And you can say that this is me playing Scientology and, this is some black op against you. No, I'm putting my fucking foot down. I'm over it. This is the last straw for me. I'm sorry. So let's go to the first one right here. Can you guys see that okay? Can you read it okay? Or do I need to zoom in more? Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So this is a post that she made. I want to say this was, maybe a week ago. And again, in the archive, that should not be too hard to find, but I will not be directing people to it. There are probably, I don't know, 20, maybe 30 posts just from this month, many of them deleted. However, she says in honor of Mike and I's daughter's courage, her sacrifices, and as per her request, bringing receipts telling she and our story. Mike brought out one receipt so far. See this post. These next two receipts show one area or example where Dana definitively reveals herself to me as to who and what she really is. Please have squarely in mind that Dana already knew by this time about the truly bizarre cancer our daughter supposedly had. Dana already knew that our daughter was fighting for her life. Dana already knew that our daughter was being attempted to be killed, targeted to die, and yet she refused my plea for help, even when I pressed her on it flat out direct. She never took it up. To witness someone who had showered me saying such things to me as that I was, as that, sorry guys, as that I was their best friend, their mentor, their mother that they never had, etc. Someone who shouted from the rooftops how much they cared about victims, about children, do this. That's why I was crying. Let's see if this works, if I hit the next one. I agree with Mike. I agree with how Mike put his observations of Dana's behavior in his post. It was beyond disgusting. It was straight out of hell. Images below. Texting with Dana Whitmire, aka Rotting Jules, March 7, 2024. Screenshots annotated in red. So there is hers right here. She underlines, I need a little help to figure out what to do with this publicly. This is me. That's her. And now here's the bigger one. Okay. These are the two screenshots that she shared. Will you help me? I'm so sorry. And I did say that. She says, crying. I know. Thank you. She edits a lot of these posts. It's almost like clockwork where she edits these, so I do have to go back and check. However, she did say that she was probably going to come back and edit this. So she says, both images showing my asking Dana for her help were at the end of a number of texts by me describing the horror of what was happening, what had happened in the past, etc. First image, this one is fairly self-explanatory, but I wanted to expand on why I included my response where I said, won the phone with her dad some years back. She told him that she was going to run ops on them and infiltrate them. Our child did carry out her stated intent, including having to allow others to either directly access her social media, her phone texts, etc., or allowing others to direct her on things to say and post, etc., which she did. Mike's post, linked to above, also touched on that point, if you recall. Mike's daughter Carrie, murdered by suicide 2 years earlier in 2022, also showed him and I examples on her phone of how others were using her phone to influence the other children and control conversations in a group chat that had been set up for all of our children to access. Not too obvious, that maneuver, is it, sarcastically speaking. Mike's other daughter helped me prove, witnessed by Mike and another of our children, that a very nasty text to us sent to my phone was not done by her. So there is quite a long pattern of this going on to try and frack with everyone's heads, some really sick shit. In any In case anyone wondered, yes, Mike and I's daughter gathered evidence about a lot of this, some of which we have, some of which she has, some of which others have, besides her direct witness of just exactly who were these others, one of which was Scott Gordon. Scott is a trained intelligence agent with a long history of being utilized for various government factions' black intelligence operations, prior to and then including operations via the Church of Scientology Office of Special Affairs. Second image, I forgot to annotate this one as to who is saying what prior to uploading it. My text are the darker blue color. Also, please note my use of the term demons is different than Dana's. I told her that in our earliest conversations. Where you see Dana saying, I'm so sorry, is she is deflecting off my question, doesn't answer it. The sorry is about the whole scene described in multiple texts prior to this part. Thank you, Soil Lodge. Don't do that. Thank you. It's not why I'm doing this, but thank you. And Merry Christmas to y'all too. Thank you very much for your kindness. So, those are the two messages that she shares. And that makes me seem like a pretty big fucking asshole, right? Now, we are going to lay down a little bit of context here because, again, I am allowed to share my experiences. And hello, Janae, I love you. The individual that she names, this Scott Gordon, before she took her blog down or before they took their blog down, there was a lot of documentation about what happened between the McClarys and Scott Gordon. Obviously, I don't know this individual. I think just objectively, he's a pretty unsavory character. And it's interesting because if I remember correctly, and I don't really give a fuck if I get it wrong, people can go look it up for themselves. But their friend, Lauren Smith-Leven, was at least peers, as far as I understand, in the church's current CIA. Or they just worked together, friends, I don't know. And when the McClarys were staying with Scott Gordon, again, the blog is taken down. I can't sit here and get into specifics, nor am I really trying to. It's not my responsibility. When everything went down with them and Mike became ill, as I understand it, Lauren came in, basically white knighting. I'm just going to throw it out here because this is the only time that I'm going to have the opportunity to do so. It's pretty fucking audacious, Virginia and Mike, for you guys to sit here and accuse me of running some fucking Scientology black op on you guys when have you ever considered that Lauren is? That Lauren and Scott are running something on you? Because no. I was never comfortable with Lauren. I was cordial and friendly. But my friendships are separate. And no, I was not going to have everything I told you going to fucking Lauren. I wasn't trying to separate you from Lauren, even though you continue to state such. I didn't get good vibes. And quite frankly, I'm glad that I trusted my instincts. And I think it's pretty audacious as a woman for you to insist or keep recommending that when I was leaving Florida, that a man that I had never met could come and help me and drive me. And I told you, no, I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know him. Especially with all the bullshit that was going on with 5 foot fuck all. So, have you guys ever considered that he's running an op on you? Probably not, because you think you're smarter than everybody in the room. So, what we are going to do is we are going to get into the not crop text messages. And again, Virginia, you forced my hand with this. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to do this. Because this, to me, is really ugly. And I'll provide context when we're done. But we're going to look at the text messages unredacted, uncropped. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So the information matches. March 7th. You still awake? Just curious how the rest of your day went. I said, migraine's still here. Janae's sleeping. Surgery was rough, but she's okay. We're home, just so tired. And 5 foot fuck all is fine right now, but blowing up my email like a psycho. I regret asking. My fault. Virginia says, how dare you have a heart? And I said, LOL, wicked woman I am. Dust off sarcophagus. She says, wish I could talk to you, but don't want to make your headache worse. Here's some context for you. I literally just got up there from Florida. Okay? Just got up there from Florida. So let's also put that into fucking perspective. She says, I have to call out publicly, Mike and I's daughter, and I'm stalling because, well, sometimes my sword is dragging. It's gonna get ugly because so many demons involved. Sad face. And I have to call out the other ones too. Sad face. Why do I get called on for such shit? Why? Because I know that's a rhetorical question. Because I can. Fuck. Dust off sarcophagus. I know this kind of evil can't be allowed to pass. I just. Fuck. It hurts. I said, I'm sorry. I can't pretend to understand the added pain of it being your child, but I understand it in my own way. And it's so painful. Because, like you say, how dare you have a heart? She says, thank God for you. And I said, and I am thankful for you. I know it's an ugly feeling. The people that perceive it as this weird joy or vengeance are the sick ones. She says, exactly. It's like you're having to stand between and call out all the demons, even though your child or friend or whatever is in their grip, but no one will stand up to it, including them. So because we can, I think that's where we get called on. I said, yep, that's how I see it, and I do believe sometimes justice isn't shown to us here in this realm, so the leap of faith of doing the right thing, regardless of the outcome or perceived outcome, is what matters. She says, I agree. Like you checking on 5 foot fuck all. Because there were threats of 5 foot fuck all taking their life. Okay, so that's the context, because, again, I had just left Florida. So she says, look at this post of her account. This, I can't read it. It says, user does not allow access to the profile. I'm assuming it's private or it was deleted. I don't know. She says, how do I present this kind of evil lies? Not to mention all the I'm terminal stage 4 cancer with one chemo treatment. I'm practically cured total horseshit. Not to mention that her sister has posted her GoFundMe when Mike and I were literally dying out there. That same sister refused to promote our GoFundMe. I have the text. I mean, shit that has gone on is so beyond you can't believe it. You realize that this is really ugly, Virginia, in hindsight, and why I didn't want to do this. The whole look on stage 4 now, I get SSDI. I don't know what that means. You know, for life, this strikes me as a payoff, but my God, how many people they would have had to involve into that, not to mention the doctor who accuses her, who falsely puts her a stage 4. Come on. But I mean, you can tell even from the pictures, look what they've turned my daughter into. The other one I'm going to need to call out that refused to put our GoFundMe or support it said it was because she didn't want it affecting her brand. Ew. That's the one that is back together with her father, who is still in the Church of Scientology, who is not allowed because she's connected to me, so you do the math on what they're really up to up there. Thank you so much for listening. I guess I need a little help to figure out what to do with this publicly. Thank you, Social Security Disability Insurance. Now see, where she posted this part, where I said, what the fuck, dude? What is her problem? You want to talk about missing some fucking context and deceptive cropping of screenshots? On the phone with her dad some years back, she told him that she was going to run ops on them and infiltrate them, but you can see how well that's going. He told her very specifically, you do not want to do that. You are way out of your league. They will eat you alive. And so they have. She's not ready for this, but there she is. She's in their grip. thinking she's all badass, going to run roughshod on her mother and her father and force them into line. It has been extremely ugly for years, Dana, and we have been patient, but life is no longer patient with her. And again, I can't pull up this post for context, so I'm sorry, but it says that accusation of sexual molestation, that was her now dead sister, and it wasn't when she was 3 years old. She was like 10, and it wasn't a molestation where it was like against her will or anything like this. I have no fucking idea what that's supposed to mean. But the fact that she wants to portray that and allow people to jump to conclusions as to that it was her father is evil. I have receipts going way back. I can prove that it was her sister that she was accusing of this, and why? Because she was trying to come up with an excuse for why she is so damn promiscuous and trying to present herself as some kind of weird, there's an S with the censor, I'm assuming slut, for attention all the time on the internet, all of which began after she decides she's going to run ops. Welcome to our hellscape from the slave masters trying to silence us. That post you just read, that was a fucking warning trying to tell me to get off of Twitter and stop doing stuff with you and on the blog. Understand? Thank you, Caesar. I appreciate that very much. That post you just read, that was a warning trying to tell me to get off of Twitter and stop doing stuff with you and on the blog. Who the fuck is dying and the last thing they want to do is start trashing their mother and father? Right. Okay, now I'm getting angry. Maybe that's a good thing. This is what I've been dealing with. I know now I have to do this, have to take this leap. I'm just not sure how to begin. Fucking demons. And now we're coming up to the next screenshot of hers. These are right now real life demons, not in the past, driving this evil. Still, sad face. Will you help me? I'm so sorry. Crying. Do you see all the shit that she left out? Trying to. Am I still here, guys? Can you hear me? Fuck. Did the sound go out? Are we still here? Hello, Bueller? Anybody? Please tell me that I didn't get kicked out. I'm good? Okay. Sorry. All right. Where did I leave off? I don't know. This thing on my end, it looked like it was all fucked up. Sorry. I'm not muted now. I'm unmuted. You hear me now? Good. Gucci. Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's get back to finishing this text message. Trying to threaten me with that post to get me to cut off from you and to cut off from everything and shut up is just, well, as you can see, I didn't listen, arg. Angry sometimes is the healthy response. My body is different than yours. I have to be careful with crying because my emotion is so big that it is actually physically hard on my body and it actually hurts it. Yes, it's beginning how to that I am confused about. I suppose I could just drop the post with a screenshot in case it tries to disappear or if it takes her account private or something like that. Do you see all this shit that she left out? I'm sorry. I've been biting my tongue on this for a long fucking time, man. And I did not want to do this. Side note, I've been going through my records in regards to the process church and save animals, kill humans, and I came across a point that I documented of that Karen had influenced Tony Ortega to actually create an animal rights section of his blog at one point. Not exactly subtle on the process, CNN influence there when you say. Don't know what that means. Have no fucking clue. Anyway, so we saw that conversation was earlier in the evening, okay? Now, obviously, we're on opposite coast, right? I'm in Georgia. I did it. Check my Twitter when you wake up. I don't know what the time disparity here is, and I don't remember if we spoke on the phone. We might have. We might have. And if I have to, I'll go and I'll get the fucking phone records. Okay? Do you understand how fucking ugly that is? Virginia, Michael, and Lauren. Not only do you guys not understand that I do not want anything to do with you, you don't understand that it is because of your own fucking behavior. And I get that you think that me making that thread on X showing your own words, me saying a couple of former Scientology spooks won't shut the fuck up, right? Because a lot of people, especially the people that have been here for a while, they did watch all of that go down in real time on Twitter. Because I know for a fact, because I've seen the fucking messages, you started bullying people. People that we had mutuals with. People saw all of that shit go down. So me saying Scientology spooks because I'm trying to be vague, I'm trying not to attack or name you, and I'm just showing your own words, and you want to say, oh, this is some line that the church has used for years and years because, well, I wasn't in the Office of Special Affairs. Mike was. If you want to read into it like that, or the Guardian's office, I'm sorry. See, they're going to run with that now. The Guardian's office, whatever. If you want to run with whatever, that's fine. Again, you have accused me of actual legal crimes. You have defamed me. You have slandered me. You have lied about me. And I'm going to tell you something right fucking now. And I hope that you hear me, but I don't think that you will. My silence and me not naming you was not some 5D chess where you don't name your actual enemies, the people that you're actually scared of. It was out of respect. It was because you were my friend. And it's also because I respect my elders, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. But Mike is a veteran, and I respect that. And you guys, it was, to me, I thought that you guys were my friends. And again, it's been a tough lesson to learn for me, but it was out of respect. It wasn't me not naming you guys so people don't go and look. I don't give a fuck. People can go and look. Again, go look in the Wayback Machine. I'm not going to tell you where it is. It'll be easy to find. There are entire blog posts that I have archived that are written about me. It has been incessant and nonstop with lull periods, but for over a year. I have not removed any videos where we were on good terms, and I gave you guys credit. I have not taken anything down. But you know what? I'm going to. And I'm sorry that certain individuals haven't pointed out to you that in a stream that I did, it had to be at least a year ago, I did like a research sort of tutorial where I just kind of showed people how I did things. And in that stream, I said I would be remiss if I did not say that, it was Virginia McClary who helped me, who taught me. And I had a couple people hit me up and they said that was big of you. And I said, I'm going to be honest with people. I don't have anything to hide. I'm not trying to act like I fucking, pulled this all out of my ass and I'm an expert. I'm not an expert on anything. That stream is still up and I will leave that stream up because I did sit there and try to give people a tutorial on how to do this if they're interested. But I did credit you there. The rest of the videos, the old streams, I will be taking those down. Because I've been patient and I've been silent. I've tried to tiptoe around the subject, and I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. And, I hate, vague posting on Facebook. They used to call it vague booking back in the day, where, you're being evasive. And it's like, I don't like doing that, but it was out of respect. Nothing else. Because I wasn't trying to be mean or disrespectful. But it has not stopped. You want to sit here and say that I lied about my house, about 5 foot fuck all. You haven't caught up. I've addressed all of these things. I've addressed everything. It's amazing. Everybody's out here grifting for all of this bullshit, and I'm sitting here, people want a fucking blood sample. Well, guess what? People have already seen my bank statements. I'm not rehashing any of that. It ain't fucking happening. I'm not going to be getting the courts involved. I'm not going to be taking legal action. And people may ask why. And it's a fair question. For those of you who pay attention in the true crime community, I hate to admit that I do listen to it in my downtime because it's one of the chicks' voices is quite soothing. She has a great radio voice. But the hidden true crime, Mormon, LDS, Daybell, Valo stuff, it came out recently in going through some of the body cam footage in regards to a couple of these creators and this sort of, I don't want to say drama because the hidden true crime chick, I mean, she's out to fucking lunch, man. Jigsaw. However, when they filed a TRO on this other person that they lied that this person was stalking them, the cop confirmed that when you file a TRO against somebody, a temporary restraining order, you are put into a database forever. I didn't know that, and neither did the host of that channel, and she's been doing this since 2018. So, guess what? I don't want to be put into a database, and I know how this shit goes because I've watched everybody jump on the restraining order train. I'm good. But for those of you who have filed these things, just so you know, you're in a database now, and that can affect you later in life. It can come up in divorce proceedings, custody proceedings. And I hope that that doesn't happen to anybody. But knowledge is power. And so am I going to poke the bear? Abso-fucking-lutely not. But am I going to sit here and allow this bullshit where, you're the one that's saying that your daughter's, allegedly deceased or, she is deceased? I don't know. It's really hard to understand. It's hard to comprehend. And I'm not going to say who told me, but someone told me when they saw a post stating that this had happened. We had not been on speaking terms for about a month at that time. And I have your number blocked, so whatever text messages you've sent, they never came through. That can be proven with a forensic audit of the phone, okay? That can be proven through phone records. Let's not play fucking stupid. And I wanted to reach out. I'm not going to lie. I felt really sad. And then I remembered that it was painted and everybody just saw it for themselves. And again, this is my opinion, this is my interpretation from reading it, that your child's illness was a black op that was being run on you guys to get you off of Twitter, to stop doing research with me, and to stop with your blog. What am I supposed to do with that? Did I go out and bash you and publish those text messages? No, I could have. Because guess what? From where I'm sitting, it's very ugly. And you can't blame Scientology for everything. Sorry, it's not the fucking boogeyman. From where I'm sitting, it's very narcissistic. It's very cruel. It's very cold hearted. And the fact that you have sat here ever since that original post and you have published voicemails of your dead kids and transcripts, which I will not pull up. I am not going to show any of these things, where they are begging you to love them. You did that. No one forced you. Quit acting like you're on some fucking holy crusade. Who does that to their own children? Because what happens every single time? I don't know if I've archived it yet, but it was the same thing when the late Doug Kramer passed away. It was, well, I've got to write this whole blog post about fucking Doug and how Doug, got shitty with us. You guys do realize that there is a world out here that exists that is completely independent from Scientology. Completely independent. And I never wanted to show these text messages because it felt really gross. And this isn't the first time. Because when I found out that I was sick, I told Virginia, I think I talked to her that day. I think I talked to Virginia and Janae that day. Those were the first two people that I called. And in that conversation, as I remember it, because people love fucking gaslighting me, it was, well, told you that things were going to get complicated if you started working with us. Insinuating that my illness, that I am handling how I fucking see fit. For the people who want to sit here and say fucking X, Y, and Z, tell me you don't understand the cancer industry without telling me. I don't have children. I don't have to do treatment. Okay? Thank you very much. That whatever was going on with me, that it was a black op to get to them. This is there's nothing that anyone can say, that anyone can do, that I am going to retort, reply. Will I continue to archive? Absolutely. Will I take down the videos? Yeah, I'm going to take down the videos. I'm going to edit them and then I'm going to re-upload them. I'm cutting everything with the McClarys out. Everything. Because I'm fucking done. I don't owe you guys anything. This is my channel. Nobody else's. I'm the one that has to sit here and take all the fucking heat. Well, I mean, they call it a fucking dark op, a black op. I don't fucking know. This is the terminology that they use. And I'm not trying to be an asshole to anybody. It's just, these are the terms that they use. But Virginia and Mike think that they're owed something. They think that everything that I have done is somehow theirs. Virginia has claimed me and then unclaimed me. And when I say claimed, I'm saying that's the wording that she's used. She has written what I refer to as Scientology fan fiction in regards to her deceased child and my miscarriage. And again, I've been as vague and quiet and as respectful as I can. But I have just shown you that the McClarys will sit here and crop to an insane degree. Very small fractions of an entire text conversation that I have no problem showing. Why? Because I said what I fucking said. And guess what? My opinions change over time. My opinions change through experience. So if I said something nasty about somebody a while back, okay, well, let's see where we're at now. Let's see where we're at now. Things change. Let us not forget, because this is also an important point. Parker used to not like me. Some would say she kind of hated me. And I know that hate's a strong word. However, me and Parker, we're like sisters now. I'm ride or die. And part of this whole situation is that Virginia wants me to denounce Parker. That's not going to fucking happen over my dead body. Parker has not betrayed me. She has not violated my trust. She has been an incredibly patient and kind person and a good friend. And I would like to remind you, Virginia, but don't worry, because the archive that I have, it'll all be there. You believed at one point that Parker and the author of the Son of Sam blog, who was a male, were the same people. Right? Because I remember that. And I have all the receipts. I am no one's property, including anybody in my fucking chat right now. I'm thankful for everyone that's here. And I get like the whole Candace thing, people are going to come and go because they're either going to realize that the process is interesting or they're going to be like, oh, this chick's fucking out there. And they're going to dip out. And I'm okay either way. Because again, I'm not here for what's popular. I'm here for the truth. And for as long as humanly possible, I have tried to be respectful. I have tried to be quiet. I have tried to be as vague as humanly fucking possible. And you guys will not stop. And so again, I would ask, have you ever considered that the man that you call your best friend, Lauren Spethman, who, again, if I remember correctly, because I'm pretty sure that there's photos up on whether it was y'all's blog or Scott Gordon's blog, that they worked together in the Church of Scientology, that person is running an op on you? Have you ever considered that? Because I'm allowed to share my experience, and so I am going to. I thought that you guys were my friends. I have the first emails that we ever exchanged where I was literally getting on a plane from California to go back to Florida. And I had told you such. And it would seem, as things transpired, and the video that me and Parker did on the late Maury Terry's The Ultimate Evil and Josh Zeman's abomination of an edit, that because you weren't involved in it, let's be honest with each other, okay? Because you weren't involved in it, not because the video had an omission or no omission of Scientology, because that wasn't the focus of the fucking video. The focus was comparing the books and what Josh omitted without telling anybody why. That's when the hissy fit began. And it was Parker and the author of the Son of Sam blog, Nate, like they're the same person. And, I'm committing spiritual suicide. Do you remember saying those fucking words to me, Virginia? And I said, that's it. I'm done. Because I take a statement like that very seriously. Do you remember that? Do you remember how long ago that was? It was almost a fucking year and a half ago, and you have not stopped. I would highly encourage taking a look in the fucking mirror. And I know you'll probably sit here and paint this as me, again, working for the Church of Scientology or fucking, working for some unknown handler or what the fuck ever. I'm doing what everybody else is doing. I am sitting here explaining my experience, just like you feel so fucking entitled to do yourself. The perpetual victim. And while I can't prove it, I will let you know that it feels like, and seeing what you've done to your own kids, publishing their voicemails, begging you to love them, it kind of feels like to me that this is all taking place now. These messages from well over a year ago, coming up actually on a year and 8 months. Wow, almost 2 years. That the timing is purposeful because of the holidays. And because my mom is not here. And you're right, Virginia. I did consider you a second mother. I cared about you very much. I cared about you deeply. I cared about both you and Mike deeply. And yes, relationships with parents are very complicated. And the relationship with my mother was extremely complex. But what happened in the end? That's between me, her, and God. And I know that I will see my mom again. I would never in a million years consider speaking ill of my mother post-mortem, especially publicly. And I could not imagine doing that to my own child. So if you think that there are messages or something or recorded calls, I don't fucking know. Where I am expressing the complications between me and my mother, you can't hurt me. I never made it a secret that the things between me and my mother were complicated. And so when our friendship ended, Virginia, it did feel like I was losing a mother figure. And that's why I had such a hard fucking time with it. But you are not a good person. This is my opinion. You and Mike are very cruel, and I don't even know to what degree Mike is actually involved in all of this. And quite frankly, I don't really care. Because again, you have accused me of actual crimes, not like some weird, stupid gay Scientology thought crime or some bullshit. You've accused me of actual legal crimes. You have lied about me, you have slandered me, you have defamed me in the legal context of each state that I lived in when these things occurred and the last known place of wherever you guys are. I know what the laws are. You have done that. And I have been quiet. I can't help someone who feels justified or vindicated in publishing their dead child's voicemails or text messages and sitting there complaining about a GoFundMe not being shared. I can't help you. And quite frankly, you know, I think that Scientology is a part of it. I think that's a part of the coldness and the cruelness. But I think that too many people use that as a fucking crutch to get away with their shitty behavior. Oh, it's the Scientology. No. I think that there's just a part of you that is not a good person and that you have an ugly heart. And I don't know if Scientology just helped that. I'm allowed to have that opinion because of the way that you've been to me and how many times I've asked to be left the fuck alone. It's been a year and a half. I will not be addressing anything else. Because absolutely none of the false claims that have been made against me have been recanted. None of that has happened. You delete post. I don't delete anything. So I can assure you, Virginia and Mike McClary and Lauren Spethman, hear me now. Hear me. Take a recording, take a transcript, take fucking screenshots. I don't care. You hold no moral or ethical high ground, and don't use that Scientology's bullshit with me using the term ethical, okay? You hold no moral high ground here. You put me into this position. Shame on you. Shame on you for sitting there and exposing your children like that. And thinking you guys are so fucking paranoid, but you're also smarter than everybody in the room. And my heart breaks for your kids. It makes me really fucking sad. Because I was operating off of the information that I had at that time, Virginia, because you know that I trusted you. And I knew that things might be more complex than what I could understand. So who am I to say it's anything otherwise? And I'm not going to reach out to your kids. I don't know them. That's completely inappropriate. I don't do things like that. So how fucking dare you sit there and crop that text message and make me seem like a monster? And again, you know what? I agree with Mike that it's something straight out of hell. Except for what is straight out of hell, we would disagree on. Your behavior is straight out of hell. And I will never, ever, ever credit, source, anything with any of your work ever again, whether it's you or whether it's Mike. So if you think that you are owed something or that I am supposed to mention you guys on every single podcast because you guys helped me out in the beginning, you're sorely fucking mistaken. I don't owe anything to either of you, nor to Lauren. And if you think that me pointing out the hypocrisy of Lauren saying that he's a Christian Scientologist and that that's me trying to line him up with John Mappin, and all of a sudden, Virginia, you're a fucking biblical expert, I'm not going to go there with you. You won't win. And neither will Lauren. But I've said it before and I'll say it again. Christian Scientology isn't a thing. It's simply not. And if we're all being intellectually honest with one another, then we know that. I don't really have anything else to say. Because if I keep going, I'm just going to digress and get very upset and cry. And again, y'all motherfuckers will never have the satisfaction of seeing me upset ever again. Because fuck y'all. You guys feed off of this shit. Whether it's the X community, the protester community, whatever community it is. These people feed off of your energy. Some call it loosh. I don't really give a fuck what you call it. They feed off of the time of your eyes, the time of your ears, the time of your mind. And after today, and this is a message for everybody, because I get random emails all the time, but this is also a message for everybody. I do not care if anyone is talking about me. I do not care if people are posting about me. I do not give two fucks what anybody in the ex-Scientology or protester community or any of these people are doing. And that would include 5-foot fuck all. I do not care. You people have taken up enough time of my life, of my energy. You guys have negatively affected me in enough ways. And this is me responding to, let's not forget, one post that was edited by the McClarys. Just one. There are at least 30 just this month. Many of them have been deleted. But I'm going to be more respectful of your dead children than you and Mike are, Virginia. I'm not going to show the transcripts of the voicemails or the actual voicemails themselves. My heart does truly break for your children. And I feel really fucking stupid in hindsight. But we live and we learn, right? And I wouldn't have known if I didn't go through it. And I know that in the long run, I will be stronger for it. And I am still going to continue to publish everything. I will give you a bit of advice, Virginia, just so you know. You published something in one of your community posts where you did not redact your email. Just a heads up, in your fury against your dead children, you did not redact it. I am going to continue to do the courteous and right thing in my archiving of all emails, all text messages, all publications. I am going to continue to redact your email. And I will redact mine, even though I know that it's out here. But just a heads up. Again, you think you're smarter than everybody in the room, and you're not. And I didn't want to do this. And I will leave you with a parting thought. What kind of person do you think that I am? What kind of monster do you think that I am? I've known this the entire time, Virginia. I could have made you look really ugly back then, and I didn't. And what kind of friend do you think that you are? You didn't contact me when I had a miscarriage or when my mom died. You didn't do any of that. All you've done this entire time is write Scientology fan fiction about the baby that I lost because you think you're entitled to, and sitting there bringing up the fact that, yes, I did consider you a second mother. I viewed you as a mother figure in my life. You hold no moral high ground, and I'm telling you right fucking now, you guys sit there and paint yourselves as truth tellers. I just showed that you guys are fucking liars. You guys are liars, and you are manipulative. And don't come at me with your biblical bullshit, because I'm not going to listen to it. I have my beliefs, and everybody else is entitled to theirs. I'm never going to be cool with Lauren. I never am going to care what Lauren Smith-Leven thinks. And again, I would take a long, hard look in the mirror and consider that it's a little bit fucking odd that when things start going to shit with the person that you're living with, who used to work with for, I have no fucking idea, Lauren Smith-Leven, that Lauren just shows up white knighting for you guys. Do you ever consider that maybe they're keeping tabs on you? Because all I did was try to fucking help you guys. I saw people in need. And I cared. I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't wish anybody harm. I don't wish ill of anybody. But I have just proven blatantly that you have fucking lied. And shame on you for humiliating your dead children like that. That is not something that a good mother does. That's not something that a good person does. But that's something that you have now done that cannot be undone, because the internet is forever. That's the legacy that you're leaving behind about your children, Virginia. You should feel fucking ashamed, and so should you, Mike. You should take her off of the fucking internet. Have a nice day, everybody.